Hey guys, how are we? Well, look at Pattaya. Look at all this erosion. So there's two things that stand out to me about this beach. That is the ridiculous amount of erosion, because we've had a huge amount of water and storms, and it's just been bedlam here the last couple of weeks. A lot of rain. And the level of absolute pollution and garbage on the beaches here is something to behold. It's a real shame, to be honest, because Pattaya and Thailand as a whole is actually really beautiful, but just full of garbage. And you look at all this garbage on the beaches here, and very, very sad. The thing that stands out to me is all these face masks that are on the beach. Crazy. Certainly not the same sort of beach as Greece. Greece has these very pebbly beaches most of the time. I did go to a really nice beach in Thessaloniki. That's I think it's called the Red Beach. Don't quote me on that. But it had sort of a finer sand, but nothing like this. One thing that you'll want if you ever go to Greece is basically some yachting shoes, or some rubber shoes like these. Basically because the pebbles on the beach absolutely kill your feet. So I just found out from one of the subscribers the other day that Greece has increased its golden visa program to 500,000 euros. That's going to be at the beginning of January next year. And we paid 250,000 euros for our golden visa. And you basically have to have that property for the entirety of your golden visa. If you are thinking of getting a golden visa in Greece, you're more than welcome to get in touch with me. We have real estate agents that we use in Athens and in Greece that basically look after properties, the sale of properties, and can even help out with the golden visa process. We got ripped on our golden visa process. I think we paid 20,000 euros, and really it should cost probably between 2 and maybe 3,000 euros, depending on the lawyer. So if you are thinking about it, certainly get onto it sooner rather than later, because I think at the end of the day, it's just going to get really expensive, and I don't see the value in it, to be honest. Who can basically access that? Well, basically, if you've got a spouse, you can put them on the same golden visa program. You can also put your children up to the age of 21 on the same golden visa. And the other thing is that you don't get market access. So you're not going to go to Greece and start a business and start working or get a job. It's just not going to happen. You're not allowed to earn money locally in Greece. The thing that you can do possibly is work remotely, maybe. And the other thing that you could do is actually rent out properties. But I highly want to discourage you from that and save you the heartache, because typically Greeks don't pay their rent. And I don't want to offend any Greek people. I've got some good friends in Greece. A lot of them will agree with me that a lot of Greeks will not pay their rent. So we know this firsthand, and it is a long, costly process to basically have them evicted, and basically they have more rights than what you have. So just be very cautious of that if you are looking at buying property to rent out in Greece. Strongly discourage that. It's really not worth the headache. So why is Greece upping the fee to 500,000 euros? Well, they're doing it apparently to make housing more affordable for the locals, which is more of a populist play on by the Prime Minister over there. I strongly do not recommend investing in Greece if you just want permanent residency. It's just not worth it. If you do buy property in Greece, it's very, very difficult to get rid of the property unless you have a really premium property that everybody wants. which is what we had. We bought the right investment from the beginning, and we knew what we were doing. But if you don't really know, then I strongly suggest that you don't invest anything that you can't afford to lose. And what I mean by that is that you may be holding on to that property for a very long period of time if you decide to sell, because they're really not easy to sell. So I think Greece as an option for permanent residency with the golden visa, it's not very appealing to me. I wouldn't recommend it. I certainly recommend Greece as a place for holidays. And if you want to basically buy a property that's sort of a bit more out in the away from, say, Athens or Thessaloniki or something like that, then in more of a holiday destination, and you enjoy that place, it resonates with you, yeah, by all means do it if you can afford it. But just keep in mind, you're probably never going to be able to sell it. The other thing that I will caution you with, because I've had a look at a lot of properties all the way around Greece. A lot of these properties have been stripped bare by gypsies. So these guys will go in there and they will literally strip these properties bare. They'll take the electrical wiring out, they'll take the copper pipes out, they'll take anything of any value. They will literally strip these properties bare so that they can use the scrap metal, and it's terrible, a real tragedy. So if you do buy a property in Greece that's in a remote area, then strongly recommend that you have someone manage that for you and keep an eye on it, because you can end up going there for a holiday and, you know, entering into an absolute tragedy. So just keep that in mind when you're thinking about investing in Greece. Look, a lot of negatives there. And another negative that I will point out is that you need to be very cautious about people piggybacking off your utilities. We had that problem, and we were probably paying people's water and electricity for a couple of years. So just keep that in mind, because what they'll do is they'll cut the water line, connect all their piping up to it, and then they'll reconnect yours, and then all of a sudden what you'll find is that you've got, and this is what we had, four different properties using our water. So just bear that in mind. The other thing is, bureaucracy in Greece is something to really behold. It is second to none, and very confusing, very frustrating. And you know, I did watch a video before, and someone was saying, you know, Greek people are so friendly and lovely, and all this sort of stuff. And once you get into things with bureaucrats, that loveliness and friendliness sort of goes out the window very quickly. So just be very, very mindful of that. The other thing is, if you are selling, like we basically had a buyer in February, early February, I think February 4. It took us to the end of May to be able to settle, and that was because the notaries were going on strike every 5 minutes. So you can be held to ransom by the bureaucrats over there. So just keep that in mind when you're looking at Greek properties, because it's really not straightforward. It's not simple. It may actually be easier for you to rent a property for 3 months or 4 months of the year, or just rent it all the year round, and then use it for the 8 months of the year that you want to live there. As I said, Greece is absolutely stunning. Probably early to mid spring, and then all the way to probably mid to probably 3/4 of the way through autumn and winter. You do not want to be in Greece. It's absolutely miserable. I have watched these videos where people say it's perfect all year round. And I sit there and think, mate, you've never lived in Greece. It is miserable and cold for about 4 months of the year. And you sort of get to the end of the winter and you think, is this ever going to end? So, but I tell you what, when you have that first spring morning and you're sitting out on the balcony having Greek yogurt with honey and fresh strawberries, and you know, you're having your breakfast, having a nice cup of coffee and just enjoying the weather, words cannot describe it. It's absolutely magical. Going to the Greek islands, I bought a little motorbike when we got out of lockdown a couple of years back and said to my wife, I'm going down to the bike shop and buying a motorbike. No, you're not. I said, watch me. And so we went down there. I bought a little motorbike and we went to Thessaloniki, had an absolutely fantastic time. Loved it for a couple of weeks. So Greece is absolutely magical. You know, a good portion of the year in the right place. But an absolute travesty and a nightmare that sours the mouth if you get in the wrong situation, which is very easy to do. So look, anyway guys, if you do need a hand, just give me a yell and I can put you in touch with some very reputable real estate agents in Greece, guys that can help you find the right property and also look after the property and do all of the legal work and also help you with your golden visa. So if you are after something like that, just let me know and I will put you in touch. And if you haven't liked and subscribed to the channel, do me a favor, like and subscribe to the channel, and we'll chat with you soon.